This photo captures a quiet, poignant moment during the Korean War. The man is Sergeant First Class Carl O. Eifler, a medic with the U.S. Army's 25th Infantry Division. The year is 1951, and he's resting in a bunker, a wall of sandbags behind him. In his hands, he's gently cradling a tiny orphaned kitten, which he's found and adopted. He's using an eyedropper to feed it, a makeshift bottle to keep the animal alive. This image, taken by a U.S. Army photographer, became an iconic symbol of compassion and humanity amidst the brutality of war. Eifler's actions provided a small, tender contrast to the conflict, reminding people that even in the most difficult circumstances, kindness can endure. The photo was widely published, and it came to represent the emotional resilience and empathy of soldiers serving far from home. The chaos at Disneyland's opening day. Disneyland is an American landmark recognized throughout the world, and it has weathered the decades as one of the most popular international amusement attractions. But when Walt Disney devoted $17 million to the park's construction in the early 1950s, many saw it as a foolish errand. While television cameras dutifully portrayed opening day on July 17, 1955, as an organized and smoothly executed event, one photographer captured the reality behind the gala as overcrowded masses tried to find their way into the park. The day turned out to be a disaster. After almost triple the amount of people expected arrived, rides broke down, food ran out, and parts of the park had to be closed. Disneyland would eventually come closer to fulfilling its promise as the happiest place on earth. But this is clear evidence that big ideas rarely go according to plan. King Frederick IX of Denmark revealing his tattoos. Imagine a photo of a European monarch in full royal attire, revealing a surprisingly extensive collection of tattoos across his upper body. This photograph, which was leaked to Life magazine in 1951, features King Frederick IX of Denmark. While royalty might bring to mind a more traditional image, King Frederick had a passion for both sailing and bodybuilding, which likely contributed to his decision to get tattooed. The image, showing this unexpected glimpse into his personal interests, offers a rare and humanizing insight into the life of a monarch who enjoyed pursuits outside the realm of royal duties. Adolf Hitler's secret bunker. If you look at the staggering levels of human suffering caused by Adolf Hitler, it's hard to see him as anything other than an instrument of destruction and pain. If his supporters were to tell the story, he would be remembered differently. Hitler's public life was carefully curated, and most surviving pictures of him were designed specifically to foster the image he wanted to send to the rest of the world. If not for the enterprising spirit of photographer William Vandevert, that might still be the case. Vandevert's photography of Hitler's bunker painted the story of a paranoid and desperate man left cornered and alone. The kiss of life. This moment captured in 1967 isn't the culmination of some major historical event, and it's not a moment that would come to signal a new revolutionary epic, but it stands the test of time due to its raw humanity. There was no reason to believe that there would be a disaster that day. The electrical linemen featured in the photo, J.D. Thompson and Randall G. Champion, were performing routine maintenance when something went wrong. Champion accidentally came into contact with a live wire and was left unconscious. His safety harness prevented his fall, but left him dangling in the air. Thompson hurried up the pole and gave Champion mouth-to-mouth until he started breathing again, and after applying CPR on safe ground, Champion went on to live another 3 decades. Through the luck and quick thinking of Rocco Morabito, who happened to arrive at the scene just after the accident, the moment was immortalized forever. The electric egg car. Imagine the streets of the early 1940s, a time of rapid change, and suddenly, you see a car unlike any other, looking more like a sculpture than a vehicle. This is a rare photo of the futuristic 1942 L'Oeuf Électrique, or the electric egg, created by French designer Paul Arzens. This sleek, egg-shaped vehicle was incredibly modern for its time, hinting at a future that was decades away. The transparent, rounded design was unlike anything else on the roads, showcasing a fascinating vision of what personal transportation could be. Boulevard du Temple. When speaking of rarities in a medium, it's hard to outdo the very first specimen, and that's the case in photography as well. This photograph by Louis Daguerre in 1838 is the first to include people. It is grainy and blurry, demonstrating photography at its most rudimentary form. However, it represents the birth of an art form that would develop over the course of generations. Few of the photographers who took the pictures above are recognized today as titans in their field, but that's just an indication of how beautifully impartial the art of photography is. Some of them happened to be in the right place at the right time. Others identified the potential for a momentous event that their peers had overlooked. Others still saw a unique perspective on events being covered extensively. The point is, it just goes to show that any photographer can, with a bit of luck and an eye toward the world around them, capture a photo that's able to stand the test of time. Remember, the best camera is the one that's on you. If you have a camera at the ready wherever you go, you may find yourself in the rare position of catching an iconic moment that tells a powerful story of the time for generations to come. A couple rides on a motorized scooter called the Autoped in 1923. This photograph captures a moment of pure early 20th century cool. The couple is riding an Autoped, one of the very first motorized scooters to be mass-produced. Patented in 1916 and sold until 1922, the Autoped was a revolutionary personal vehicle. It was marketed as a quick and convenient way to navigate crowded city streets. The scooter featured a small gasoline engine and could reach speeds of up to 20 miles per hour. Its unique design allowed the steering column to fold down, making it easy to carry or store. This particular photo, taken around the time the scooter was in production, perfectly encapsulates the novelty and style of the era. The couple, dressed in their finest attire, represents a new generation embracing modern technology and the freedom it offered. The image became an iconic representation of urban mobility and personal independence in a rapidly changing world. The Hindenburg disaster. While the flight of the Hindenburg on May 6, 1937 was recognized to be a major media event, few would have guessed how important it would become, or why. The Zeppelin had already safely completed its maiden voyage from Frankfurt, Germany to New Jersey, and the photographers gathered below at Lakehurst assumed that their work would be simple routine for the morning papers. When the ship caught fire, Murray Becker was one of the photographers on site to document the whole affair. 15 of his pictures tell a horror story and relate a tale reminding us of the dangers that come with humanity's desire to always fly a little higher than they were intended. The British Terra Nova Expedition, 1911. In 1911, photography was less than a century old, and the fundamentals were still being worked out. The need to carry bulky and unwieldy equipment may have made it seem like an impractical inclusion on Britain's dangerous Terra Nova expedition to the Antarctic, and many probably saw it as an unnecessary frivolity. But this stunning glacial photo by Herbert Ponting conveyed the unspoiled majesty of one of the few remaining frontiers at a time before the prevalence of handheld cameras and satellite photography. Even today, it's a marvelous sight.